what would you like to be remembered for? Last question. Make it count.
Going hard.
Welcome back with another episode of Convos with Alina. This is episode number 12. I have a very special guest with me today, my personal trainer / friend, Frankie.
What is good?
So we honestly have been trying to get this together for him to be on my podcast for maybe like ever since he found out that I had a podcast. And he has a really busy schedule, if you don't already know. I honestly have been making excuses for it. I've been super nervous. We are both super nervous.
I'm still nervous right now.
We were supposed to start recording at 2. It is now 4:16, but it's okay. We just kind of lost track of time. So honestly, Frankie kind of made a good point for my podcast. So future podcasts, I'm going to be super excited. We're going to start doing kind of like a 21 questions with a special guest and kind of just make it a lot fun and like, I don't know, just kind of like let the conversation keep going. A lot of people ask questions about Frankie. Obviously, he's a personal trainer. He's been doing training for like by himself since when?
Since like 2018. I really want to call it training. I would just work out with people, and then I'll work out with people who obviously were like hitting me up so I could work out with them and like lead the workout and like show them by example, you know? Yeah. So I guess in that regard, like, yeah, I was training, but I didn't really start like legitimate training until the beginning of this year.
So January officially started, or when?
Well, I mean,
After
I think it would have been January if fucking all these things didn't happen with COVID.
True.
But when I left, I had a construction company, and when I left that's when I was like, you know what, I'm going to jump into training full time. I'm going to train whoever wants to get trained at first and then like make it happen from there. But yeah, what was your question? You see that stupid flyer? I'm like,
yeah,
yo.
I know. I'm like, I saw it too. No, okay. So one of my questions, a lot of people assumed, a lot of people wanted to ask you, do you do personal training like full time, or do you have like another job on the side?
No, I jumped into, like I said, I really was looking into training like at the end of last year. I was like, yo, I really want to do this. Like, I don't know, I just like, it's a really good feeling when someone tells you like, thank you, you know what I mean? Like, thank you for like helping them. Like, that's a feeling that I was like, yo, I want to chase that. Like that high right there, that high that you get with that. It was towards the end of last year where I was like, I'm gonna make that happen. So I was doing construction and not really training, like I said, just working out with people that I'm like, yo, this person needs my help. I'm gonna show them what I've learned and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm officially doing training full time. I'm training like 55 hours a week. It's 50 hours a week.
So when did you officially quit your construction job?
Officially, I dropped it in February of 2020. So literally, I had to drop construction towards the end of, like the beginning of COVID. Like I discontinued my business, and I was like, I'm gonna start a new business within the fitness industry.
And then boom, COVID happened.
And then boom, COVID happened.
And so you're like, fuck.
Yeah, yeah. It took a lot of like that faith that I talk about, you know what I mean? Yeah. I really had to like prove everything that I had a big talk, you know, and I feel like COVID really allowed me to like walk the walk with what I was saying, because I was able to, I mean, we all took a big ass hit with COVID, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and me working at the dental office, I felt like there was no way that I was gonna shut down. And then when we shut down for 2 months, I was just like, your 9 to 5 can be taken from you like that.
ASAP,
and COVID allowed a lot of people to kind of get their side hustle and get something that they really wanted to like do for the rest of, you know what I mean? Like your little, like your goal, I guess.
Yeah, and I've seen that too. I've seen like my Instagram, like a bunch of like entrepreneurs, like startups, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna do nails, I'm gonna do hair, I'm gonna do something, you know, like I'm gonna figure it out. And I respect that so much, like, hell yeah, figure it out. But now it's like, okay, everybody has the power to like say, I want to start something, but now when the trials and tribulations of that, whatever it is you're starting, like for you, your podcast, you know what I mean? Like the growing pains of it, the long hours of editing that a lot of people don't see, the setup that you did with this, you know what I mean? Like all that you started now, and you're going to have your ups and your downs, your times where you're doubting yourself. Dude, there's times where I'm still doubting myself. I was telling you when we were eating at Stonefire, like if I looked at my Instagram Explore story and saw all the trainers, and I'm in LA, like the competition is the biggest city. Like I would literally like overwhelm myself with anxiety just looking at the explore page, just seeing the next trainer, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I feel like
true.
allowing me to just focus on myself and just do what I have to do and get better. That's why I put like get yours too, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's so much competition out there, like especially for me here as a trainer in LA, like yo, to say like one of the best in LA is crazy. It's crazy, like it's a crazy reputation out here. So I don't know, like get yours is kind of that, even though there's so much competition, if you just focus on watering your own grass, if you just focus on growing, by like it's all on you, it's all in you to grow, you know, like you'll make something happen. Right now, I'm not the like from a physical perspective, I'm not the biggest trainer in the game.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From like the experience level and the science level, I'm not the smartest trainer in the room. You know what I mean? But I have a lot of heart for it, and I do this shit with the passion, and I feel like my clients really like see that, and they see that this is not just a job for me, this is not just a paycheck for me, like I'm really out here on a different mission with it, you know? And then the results of that is that I'm booked, you know, and God is good.
Yeah, and like when I started training, or when I found Frankie, it was through Val's page. She was training with him.
Val's a G. Val is a straight
she's
killer.
the one like that was your blessing in disguise.
Yeah, she was my little golden nugget, for sure.
Yeah, and so when I found him on her page, I was like, I was already in the position where I wanted to lose weight, but I wasn't trying to make, I wasn't doing anything about it. Like I just kept saying like, oh, I want to do it, and I just was like making excuses for it. And then finally when I saw Frankie's page, I was just like, I've never been one to say like, oh, I'm going to go with a personal trainer. I've always just trained with like friends or worked out here and there. But then when I saw Frankie's page, I like followed it, and then we like started messaging each other about like setting up a time to do a consultation. And then when we did the consultation, like I was like super shy. Like I didn't know if like how the vibe was gonna be. And then like the vibe that he brought from the very beginning to now hasn't changed. Like it's always been positive. I feel, and like your vibe has never changed. Like it's always just been like a good like vibe. Like there's days where I come in to train with him and I'm in a bad mood, or like I just not feeling it emotionally. And like as soon as I see him, like he's like, all right, are you ready to get it? Like, and I'm just like, all right, yeah. Like I get in a better mood. Like it's just you're just so more motivated to like work out with someone like that. And I feel like some trainers like they show like, I don't know. I just feel like they're just not as interested, or so I don't know. There's just like that just chemistry, I guess. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So I don't know. I really like Frankie. I like Frankie as a trainer, to be honest. Another question that someone asked you was, what drove you to become a fitness trainer?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Honestly, if you would have asked me like 20s, like I remember, like I think you have to go back to like the beginning, like why did I start training?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think I found a tweet like from a while back that said, because I just put, you know, on Twitter you could, oh, do you have a Twitter?
Yeah, I do.
All right. You know, in the search thing you could put like your username and then like a keyword, and then it'll pop up with like everything that you've like tweeted with that keyword.
Right,
so
right.
I put like fitness to see like how far is like my fitness journey been, because I tweet a lot, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And I found this tweet from like 2013 that said, I'm gonna work out until I can't feel pain. And I'm like, damn, I don't know what young Frankie was going through.
That's what I
You know what I mean? Homeboy had like damaged heart or something, but what was I saying? Ask me again.
No, like where your training and everything came from.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I mean like I said, you gotta go back to the beginning. I found a tweet that said like, I wanna work out until I can't feel pain. So I guess, you know, reflecting back like on younger me,
Yeah.
first of all, homeboy needed a hug.
Homeboy needed some love.
Homeboy needed a hug.
A little motivation.
Yeah, and I think that's when I started digging into that. Like I always was the type, like I played high school football, right?
Okay, yeah.
So like in summer, like everyone that plays football like knows this. But in the summer, your coach puts like some Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like I know my coach would put like Dwayne The Rock Johnson motivation on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then like let us watch the video. You know what I mean? But we're young, we're in high school, we're focused on girls, we're focused on friends, we're focused on impressing people that don't even, you know what I mean, that are gonna hate regardless.
Yeah.
And you're not really listening to that motivation. You're just like, all right, cool. Like that
quick.
sounds cool, but it's a little corny. I'm not trying to listen to it. I got better things to do, you know.
Right.
But then when like life really hits you in the face and it like knocks you down for like that first time, like in your adult life, like I guess, you know what I mean. Like I had to grow up quicker than most. Like I was working construction since 15. Like my whole family has. Like all the guys know. Like once you're old enough to work, you're working. And I feel like every young like Mexican kid, a lot of people like that don't come from privilege can relate to that.
100%. I started working at 16, so I feel you 100%.
Like you just need to get it earlier.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I feel like we grow up faster. You know what I mean? And then like when you're growing up faster, you see shit. You know what I mean? You see empty pockets. You see heartbreaks. You see fake friends. You see a lot of shit, and it's not even like to like pity me or like, oh, feel bad for me.
Yeah.
It's just shit that everyone goes through.
Everybody goes through, yeah, 100%. One of the other questions.
I didn't even answer it though. Did I answer that?
No, like what drove you to become a fitness trainer? Like a lot of the shit that like.
Yeah, a lot of the shit that like I feel like I went through.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
personally.
And then like naturally like life putting people in my life that ask me for like advice or something. It's like, yo, like I'm still young. Like I still have it far from figured out. You know what I mean? I'm still far from like, I guess, quote unquote success. Because it's like, what really is success? Like what is the perspective? Like what is success to you? What success is to you is completely different to us.
Someone else.
Exactly, but I feel like I still have a lot to like that I want to achieve on a personal level. You know what I mean? With this whole training thing, personal level, I feel like I definitely want to jump into like entrepreneurship and just doing my thing. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's what it's about. I feel like everybody should want to do that. And if you are really thinking about like entrepreneurship, read 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. For real. I know like you don't want to read, but trust me, do what I do. Listen to those shits. Audiobook is like
audiobook is the shit.
I just be hiking and listening to books, and there's shit that in there like that people that are around you that have had more success won't tell you, or just don't like simply forget. You know what I mean? Like forget like along their come up story, because everyone has a come up. Unless everything was handed to you growing up, if you have a come up story, like you know the lessons that you've learned along the way. You feel me? And I feel like my ultimate goal is to go through lessons and put people on earlier so they don't have to go through the mistake. At least with my clients that are willing to like listen to me and, you know, I mean, think that what I have to say is worth anything. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of the stuff that you tell me, I listen to like, not gonna lie, like 80%.
The other 20% just like
the other 20%
just
I'm like,
straight off. And there's times where like I think the shit I say is like corny or like overused.
No, I don't feel that way though. But I mean, personally, I feel like maybe
Because like everyone had, like we were talking about this too, but like everyone has like a hater in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone's their own biggest hater. Everyone's their own biggest critic.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes I'm like, bro, this shit is corny. But then I get a message that says like, I needed this. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, like. Yeah. Even though it's corny, even though like sometimes, like dude, sometimes it's hard for me to feel like that motivation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's crazy because my job to like motivate and uplift people, but it's like sometimes I wake up not feeling it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I wake up back in that like dark state of mind and I need to like get out of it. You know, and that's the challenging part.
That's the most challenging part. And I feel like for you personally, like you went through, like you mentioned before, like you went through all of those like motions, like emotions of like dark, you know, dark time, like because you literally trained yourself to be where you are at now.
Yeah.
And like I feel like that's where like you understand where I come from sometimes, and like a lot of your other clients come from, you know, because you personally have gone through what we're going through right now as far as training or like working out.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the like best parts of like not cheating the process.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Going through the process, you're able to like really go through the hardships, the good times, the bad times. Whereas if I would have just like, you know, 2 years down the road on my fitness journey said like, fuck it, I'm gonna hop on steroids. You know what I mean? I'll get there a lot faster.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like I would have missed some of those lessons that come with looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, fuck, I've been working out for 6 months. Why am I still fat as fuck?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me ask you another juicy question. How do you stay focused on your own goals when training others?
How do I stay focused on, you know, that's crazy because when I started like training, I had this like dope friend and in a way like mentor. His name's Jesus. He trains in West Hollywood right now. He has his own gym out there. But it's funny because when I was talking to him, we've been talking about like me training and this whole journey thing for a minute. And before I had any clients, you know what I mean? He told me like, see that coming. Like there's gonna be times where, you know, you have such a busy ass schedule, you're not gonna be able to work out yourself. And I've gone through that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like that point where you just get burnt out, like that burnout point, that's happened to me. You know what I mean? But just learning how to consistently bounce back.
Yeah.
Like I talk to my clients a lot about staying consistent, saying because it's not perfection, it's consistency.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I've said it once and I'm gonna say it again. Like first thing you gotta learn is getting consistent at bouncing back, because anything that's worth chasing, anything that's gonna be worth it in life is gonna be hard. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're gonna eat shit. Everybody's ate shit. That's another thing I've picked up along the way is like nobody's really better than you. They're just in different phases.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it's like when a guy or a girl is like in a different phase, you're thinking like, yo, how they get there? How did they get to that really expensive car? Well, they didn't just like fucking like jump their way into this badass sports car. You know what I mean? Like it was years of hustle, years of downtimes, years of times that they're like, am I even gonna do this? Is this shit even worth it? You know what I mean? Like doubt, fear, all that shit like went into their minds too. They just kept going at it. They broke through that phase. You know what I mean? Like just, and I'm like, yo, that's what life's really about. Like unlocking new phases, because every phase has a new trial and tribulation that you're gonna have to face. And if you could get through that shit, then you're in a new phase. You know what I mean? And I think like that's what it is. No one's really better than me. They're just in different phases. Exactly. So I don't get mad. I phase up. You got to
have to stay in your own lane, stay focused, water your own grass.
Exactly.
I feel you. Okay. And then this one's kind of like a personal question. It says, why do men
No personal questions, please.
Why do men cheat?
Why do men cheat?
Because you're a guy. You're the first. You know what's crazy? You're the first guy that I have as a guest on my podcast. So, but go ahead. Why do men cheat?
I feel honored for that.
Yeah, you should be.
You're like, I trust no fuck boys around my
exactly.
circle. But why do men cheat? I don't know. I think a lot of the times, like on a personal level, I feel like sometimes I'm not even emotionally connected to somebody, and I'm just like, yo, they're a good-looking person, and I'm lonely. You know what I mean? Like you get that like sense of like I'm bored, lonely, I'm trying to do something, like so you just link up with, like, you know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying?
Okay, but say you're in a relationship with someone, and then like, would you ever cheat, and like why would you?
To be honest, I've never like physically cheated. Yo, you making me burn myself. We gonna cut this.
No. We're gonna put this one on because a lot of people want to know.
All right, fine. I'm gonna burn myself out.
Yeah,
no,
it's all right. It's all right.
I mean, I've never physically cheated, but I guess, you know, like talking to somebody else while you're talking to someone else, that's cheating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's there. The intentions are there.
But I think I don't know. I think every guy's different. I think every guy's gonna have a different answer. But
do you feel like it should be like you're not gonna cheat on like the right one or whatever? Like once you meet somebody, it's like
I think that's one of the reasons I've been single like for a minute now, and I plan on staying single for a minute now. Because who is the one? Like I feel like that's one of those when you know, you'll know. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I haven't hit that point where like I know like anything's like for certain, you know. And I don't want to waste any other like girls' time, and I don't want to waste my time. So it's just like it's best to just focus on me right now. And I think that's the best advice I could give. Like focus on you, because I promise you, I train a lot of pretty girls, and I promise you, they ain't paying attention to you, bro. Yeah. Like you know what I'm saying? Like girls are really like emotionally attached. You know what I mean? So even if their man is like a fuck up or like a fuck boy or like treating them like shit, like a girl's a ride or die. You feel me? So like it's gonna take a lot for a girl to be really emotionally attached to you. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I've learned, and I don't know. I just think you gotta focus on yourself, and I think when you know, you know. And you just gotta get to that point.
Dang, that was actually cool. Really good advice. I was not expecting you to answer that way. Let me ask another. This one's not personal, I promise.
Good. I want to see that personal question. I'm like, you gonna cut that shit off real quick.
What motivates you to put your greatest effort each day? What's that one thing?
Knowing what rock bottom feels like.
Dang, that's deep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On multiple times. Like, I know what rock bottom feels like emotionally. I know what rock bottom feels like financially. I know what rock bottom feels like. What else is there?
You're like emotionally, physically, like mentally.
Spiritually. Like, dude, there was a long time where like I drifted from church. I was like, I did not lay a foot in church. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's just like life got the best of me. Seeing people in the church community like judge, like, you know, like sometimes when you could just sense that like judgment, like for me, like getting my tattoos, oh my God, like my family still to this day is opposed to it, you know? So just feeling that like sense of like judged in a room, like I was like, I'd rather not do all this, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I guess, just hitting rock bottom on multiple occasions, you know what I mean? And then being able to get out of rock bottom, you know what I mean? Pursue something more. And then like you're at that stage. Like for example, I was fat going into high school, right? I was able to lose the weight. I was able to get the friends. I was able to get the girlfriend. You know what I mean? Things I wasn't able to, or at least I think I've always been confident to like talk to girls. Like I've never really like had that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there was a point in my life where like the level of my insecurities were like higher. Than they are now. Exactly.
Yeah.
What was my question?
No, it was just what motivates you to put the greatest effort each day. But you said it was just like to feel rock bottom, to know what rock bottom is.
And that's more like if you know, you know. Like that question is self-explanatory, you know. Exactly. If you've hit rock bottom and you get that like fight to be like, you know what, I'm gonna dig myself out of this dark ass hole that I'm in, and I'm gonna figure that shit out. Like that's it. Period. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Let me ask you: do you prefer training men or women, and why?
Men or women?
Like, what do you prefer better?
Okay, ask that question again, because the fly hit my face, and okay. we gotta kill that fly.
What's your biggest? I'm sorry. Do you prefer training men or women, and why?
I think they're both like. It's a lot easier for me to train guys, because I've been, you know, I mean, I've been chubby and had to lose weight, and I've been 160 pounds and I've had to gain weight. You know what I mean? And it's so easy for me to like help them out, because I know on a mental level, I know exactly what phase they're in right now. Like I said, back to the phases thing, like I know exactly what phase they're in mentally. So I know how to help them or like motivate them like to get out of that phase that they're in, if they're like in a dark time or if they're feeling like unmotivated or something, or they just need that like that one thing, like that one extra workout, like that one piece of advice. Yeah. I feel like that's where like my strong suit is. But training girls has definitely been a challenge and definitely been like an opportunity to grow, you know? Like I did not see myself training girls, the amount of girls that I'm training. Yeah. Like when I started this whole process, I legitimately saw myself training like athletes, like young athletes, you know what I mean? Or like the weight loss story with the guys, you know, like what I was able to take myself through. That's really what I had visualized, but God works in different ways.
Do you think that girls can play more than guys, like as far as like when you're training them, or guys can play more than girls?
No, I think all my clients like just shut the fuck up and do the work. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like they tell me they're tired, but they're here for they're there for a reason, and all my clients put in work. Like I see one thing that's really big on me is like demeanor. You know what I mean? Like I could really see somebody's demeanor when I tell them we're gonna hit like a crazy number, like, oh, we're gonna hit 30 push-ups. And I mean, and they look at me in the eyes and they're like, you're fucking, I'm not hitting 30 push-ups, dude. Like, you got me fucked up. You know what I mean? But then like you push them through it, you motivate them through it, and they get it done, and they're like, and you see that pride in their eyes, you know, they're like, I did that shit.
All right, we took a quick break because I had to get my life together real quick because I was nervous.
I had to take a piss.
Honestly, I feel like the first round was pretty cool. We did pretty good.
It was good.
All right.
Let's finish this.
Let's get back into it with another question for this man. What is your current state of mind right now? You know I had to hit you with this one.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know, like, I think I'm in that ambitious come-up phase right now in my life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I was able to pursue something and get to a certain level, like a certain level up in my life, like compared to where I was, you know what I mean? And now it's like, yo, I got what I worked really hard for, you know what I mean? And now it's like, it's not over, it's like far from over, you know what I mean? Like I understand what like comfort does to somebody, so I've gotten comfortable before and I've gotten back to that, you know, going back to that like rock bottom, you know? Yeah. I felt really good in my life at one point and then hit that rock bottom again where I just felt like I needed help, like I wanted more, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think, that's the phase that I'm in right now. Just, all right, I'm on a new level. Like, now it's time to keep going.
Keep going, you know what I mean? What's your biggest weakness when it comes to food?
What are my options? Do I have options or just?
Well, you said the pasta, right?
Yeah, pasta. And like I said, like I started researching like Dr. Sebi and everything and like taking his advice. I firmly believe like what he's doing is like right. You know what I mean? And then like obviously he says no dairy. So I've been on this like no dairy thing, but I love pasta.
It's hard.
So it's so hard. And then pasta without cheese, what it wouldn't. That don't even make sense. Like, you know what I mean?
You always have to have the cheese on the top.
I always have to have the cheese on the top. But I think pasta and sweets. I definitely have a big ass sweet tooth.
Like more like bread or candy? You said
candy. Like chocolate.
Chocolate?
Yeah. I was a little fat boy, remember? I was a little fat boy Frankie, so.
I forget.
So definitely sweets and chocolate and pasta.
All right, let me ask you another one. Is there something missing from your life right now in this moment?
Is there something missing in my life?
Yeah.
I think, that's a good one. Materialistically speaking, or just anything speaking?
Materialistic, and then like in general too, like.
I think the biggest thing just the biggest thing that I feel like I'm missing is fulfillment. I don't feel fulfilled yet. I don't feel like I've done everything that I want to do.
Yeah, you
And
still feel like
hungry, like I'm still hungry.
you're hungry
you know
for
what I mean?
more. Yeah.
Hungry for,
you're not like
which
content yet.
Not.
Do you feel like
That's
you're
what I'm
ever gonna
trying
be-
to pursue though. Like,
Okay.
I'm trying to be able to be like in a state of contentment and like ambition for more always. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
of
think that's what
course.
like still not done means. Like always pursuing more. Like it doesn't matter what level you've hit, where you're at in life. Like there could always be more. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're making money, good, make more money. You know what I mean? You're doing good, like do better.
Do
you know
better,
what I mean?
be better.
You're fit, good, get fitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's always, and I think every ambitious person can relate to that. Like there's
100%.
always more, but being able to learn like contentment to like where you are and like being like gratitude for where you are, something that I had to pick up and something that I was able to like pick up big time in like with COVID, like with the COVID season and everything, like things that we took for granted are like, yo, like I haven't been to the movie theaters in like how long? When was the last time you went to the movie theaters? You know what I mean?
Last year.
And it's like you think about that and you're like, holy fuck, like
It's crazy. Like
next time I'm gonna go to the movie theaters, I'm about to like enjoy the fuck
Have
out of
you-
the popcorn.
Yeah.
You know what
Have
I
you
mean? I'm
been to
gonna like
iPic?
sit down on the movie seats and like the movie theater seats and like really like plant my
Like,
ass
really
and
sit
just
there.
like enjoy it.
Have you been to iPic?
I haven't.
Oh my God, that place. Okay, you know where it's at?
No.
There's one in Pasadena and there's one in like I think downtown. But the one in Pasadena, like the tickets alone for two is like $70.
Just for the tickets.
Just for the
And then
tickets.
snacks another like 100.
And like right, exactly. Like there's a button that you press, and then like they'll come to you, and then you order like there's food, there's drink, like alcohol beverages. There's
that sounds bougie.
and then you have like a blanket and a pillow. It's like super bougie. Like it's and the seats are like huge.
Separated.
Yeah, they're really big, and you have like your own. Like if you want to do like with a date, it's like a whole like little thing for you too.
Like a bed.
Yeah.
So you
it's
could
kinda-
basically like
cuddle.
handle business.
No, like cuddle, you know, like during the movie, like at home, but you're not.
I feel like I'm not comfortable. I feel like I need to get comfortable in this motherfucker. I was comfortable the first time around. Let me see this.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine. I need my
Your little
so
arm.
my fat ass could breathe. You know, like the lung airway.
Stupid. Okay. What do you consider your greatest achievement yet?
I think being able to take myself from, like, I think that's my greatest achievement for sure. It's being able to say like I'm gonna stop this business. You know what I mean, and start another business.
Yeah.
And then like unfortunately like shit happened. You know what I mean, like the whole COVID situation and being able to like stay 10 toes, like handle this, like weather the storm. You know what I mean, and getting out of the storm and then being like blessed to the position right now where I have like you know what I mean, where I'm at now, and like seeing the whole year just like kind of like in fast motion, you know what I mean, like going really fast. Like I'm like, yo, like that's dope. That's definitely like a cookie jar. Like I don't know if you know who David Goggins is, but he talks about like cookie jars. Like when you do dope shit and you're like, yo, like you could really put that in your cookie jar, and whenever you're going through hard times, like you could go back to the cookie jar and be like, I did that. You know what I mean? Like
so
I lost that weight.
Yeah.
I mean, like I started that. Like I did that, and just like self-achievement things that, cause you gotta be your biggest fan. Just like we're our biggest haters.
Yeah, you have to be your biggest fan.
You have to love the fuck out of you. You know what I mean? And when you're doubting yourself, like look at yourself, hate on yourself, but then after that, like stay aware, stay in that state of awareness. Like I'm my biggest critic, I'm my biggest hater. These people are probably not even judging me like the way I think they are.
Yeah,
You know
how
what I mean?
hard that we're on ourselves.
How hard? Yeah, for sure.
What's your biggest pet peeve of like when training somebody?
I don't have, I don't have a pet peeve. I think when their demeanor's not there,
Yeah.
that pisses me off. Cause it's like, and like they're obviously paying me so I could bring that motivation back into life, that their demeanor and that back into their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like when I see them like just like not trying, like not giving that, cause you know when someone's giving till failure and when someone gives up before failure. Like as a trainer, I see that on a daily basis.
Right.
So it's so easy to see that. You know what I mean? And I'm not asking my clients to like hit and get every single weight with perfect form.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, try, you know what I mean? Like,
Try your
try.
best.
So sometimes I'll get like, oh, like I'm done, I'm not feeling, you know, and it's rare. Right now, like none of my clients do that on a
like
consistent
that.
level,
Yeah.
and they all push through it at the end. But I think, yeah, that's for sure one of my biggest pet peeves.
Honestly, I'm probably the one that complain. Okay, wait. I wanted to ask you not personal because it's about me. What have you noticed the most change, like from beginning, from like when we started back in September to now, about myself?
Confidence level, for
Confidence.
sure. Like, I think you've always had that demeanor, like, okay, I'm paying you, so like we're gonna make this shit happen. Like
Right.
we're gonna lose this weight. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like that demeanor has never left. Just that confidence level. Like you could see when someone's doing an exercise with confidence, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you've really been able to drastically, like, from day one to like
To now.
like you're just like, all right, we're doing that, like we're gonna make it
Yeah.
happen. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you still look at me funny, you
I'm
know
like-
what I mean? Like you'd be like, you got me fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
There's times I'm like, let's do another workout.
yeah, like, but besides that, I'm like, that's one thing for sure that I've been able to see your confidence level, and I feel like that's something I want to preach for sure. Like, I want to know how confident you are, because
Yeah.
I don't care how good you are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How confident are you to do it? Like,
One of my main things that I hate that we work out on, and it's just like a warm up, is like the jump squat with the band. That shit kills me. Like we do 10 jump squats with the band, then you jump 2, and then you do 5, and then you jump 2, and you do 5, and then you do it back, and then by he would tell me in the beginning, like when we worked out the very first session, he told me like, all right, the warm up's done, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like warm up, that shit he could kill me in bands alone. Like just with the band alone, he kills me every time. But now I feel like I kind of have more, like, I don't know, like I guess just more strength. I feel like more strength in my legs now for sure. Like I feel like they're kind of getting like some muscle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. But let me ask one of the other personal questions.
I should probably explain the jump squats though.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
explain the jump squats because I probably explained it horrible.
Well, no. Like you explained it really good, but I think I want to explain like the science of it, or like why I do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I played basketball like growing up and everything, and I was Mr. Sprain Your Ankle. Like I sprained my ankle so many times in high school, like it was ridiculous. It got like to the point where it's like, okay, we get it. Your ankle sprained, Frankie. You know what I mean?
They're like, all right, it's again.
Like not you again, like spraining. But like I really had to go back and like go on like YouTube University and like study the books, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when I was going through like the NASM thing and like reading the book and like looking at, okay, like I really lack ankle mobility, and that's why I'm getting injured so much, because of my ankle mobility, you know what I mean? And girls who wear like heels a lot, and that's a lot of girls, you know what I mean, have terrible ankle mobility. So I think just the benefits of jumping are like endless, you know what I mean? Just the exercise alone. But I think for my girls, that's one of the biggest reasons I do the jump squats, is just to like increase their hip mobility, increase their ankle mobility for the workout, so they could go a little deeper and everything. So
Yeah.
that's why I do the jump squats, and it gets their heart going, and it's fun, and I see them like complain about it every single time, and it's a little satisfaction inside where I'm like, yep, I'm gonna make them do the jump squats again,
Yeah.
and they're gonna hate that shit.
I
you know what
hate
mean?
it. He's like, we're gonna do the one that you don't like the most, and I'm like,
I tell him we're gonna do it till you love him.
Yeah,
you know
and
what
I don't. And then when he told me that, I'm like, oh my god, I love him. I like, we can stop. What was the hardest loss you had to take this year?
Definitely everything that happened with COVID, and I feel like everybody can relate on that. Like
Yeah.
everybody lost something. Everyone took a big hit. You know what I mean? Some people lost their jobs. You know what I mean? Some people lost themselves. Some people were like, yo, like mentally I'm weak as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we had, like everything was so easy. Life was so good in 2019. You know what I mean? Like at least for some people, like life was really on this cruise control, and then COVID hit, and it
COVID
really
hit.
just was like a glacier hit to everybody.
I feel like because COVID made us stay home, a lot of people realized like you're not anything without like going out.
Without,
and
like, going out.
Yeah, like a lot of people
Damn,
were going
that's crazy,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like people were just like, because everybody would post like they were out every weekend, like getting the bottle service, doing this, doing that, and then like when all of that had to stop because all the clubs obviously got shut down, like everybody was going crazy, and it's just like how sad that really fulfills you. You know what I mean?
That really, yeah.
Like
and
people
hey,
get
I'm like, hey, be like the first to throw the stone if you know what I mean. I think everybody fell victim to it. Like, yo, like my life is really not as poppin' as I thought it was. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're like, what do I do now? And it's like that's when dude, like for me, for example, I love work. Like you already know, I love working out,
he loves
and I'm a super social person. So you take away the gym from me, you take away social life from me, I'm gonna have a bad day. You feel me? Like I'm talking to the wall, like just. But yeah, like I think it really gave everybody the opportunity to find themselves. Like you either found yourself in a good way, like yo, I'm mentally tough, you know what I mean, and I was able to get through it, and I was able to make the best situation out of the worst situation.
Right.
Or you were like, yo, like I'm not that tough. I'm not that mentally there. You know what I mean? Like I gotta work on things, and I gotta figure myself out. And some people that hit them with depression, some people that hit them with ambition. You know what I mean? Everybody gets hit a little different.
Yeah. So do you think that because of COVID, it helped you? Like, do you think COVID was like a blessing in disguise for you as far as like your training?
Almost definitely. I think COVID was a blessing in disguise for everybody. Like on everybody, like everybody hit it. Like everybody felt it. I mean, like you really were hit by COVID, and that definitely shaped me with like my family, with my like friends, like with everything on a personal level, on a business level. Like, yeah, it was definitely a reality check, a good one, and it was definitely a blessing in disguise for sure.
Yeah. What inspires your ideas with fitness?
Ooh, I do have like a lot of people like on like social media that have a high respect for. You know what I mean? Like. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I've been having a fucking like, you know what I mean? David Goggins, people that I'm just like, yo, I respect these motherfuckers on a whole different level.
Yeah.
And
what inspires your ideas?
Hold on. Let me fix myself.
Let me fix.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for my workout. Okay, anyway. What inspires your ideas with fitness?
I think I always like training with different people. You know what I mean? Like, I like to train with my friends who did bodybuilding. I like to train with my friends who did CrossFit. I like to train with my friends who do calisthenics. You know what I mean? I like to train with my friends who do boxing. You know what I mean? And just being in different fields within the industry, you're like, yo, like, even though I have this many strengths on this side of the spectrum, when I go with the when I go with the boxer, and when I go with the calisthenics guy, and I realize that I have terrible body weight like strength, you know what I mean, or I have terrible endurance, and then you're like, holy shit, like testing new waters lets you know your weaknesses in those waters, you know what I mean? So I think that's what influences me. I really like to I'm a student of the game for sure, so I like to ask a lot of questions. I like to learn a lot of different things, and then I just adapt and take what I like, take what I want to implement to my own style of fitness, and then I put my clients through and then ask them how it went.
What is a personal short-term and long-term goal? Short-term first, go. For yourself.
Short-term goal.
Like life in general, not even just fitness. What's a good short-term goal that you have for yourself?
I want to help 5 people like hit their goals by the end of this year. I think that's a really dope short-term goal. You know what I mean? Like, if I could say like 2020 was the year I helped 5 individuals really take themselves from where they hated being, you know what I mean? Like, to where they really like were confident, were really glowing, you know what I mean? Like, I've helped 5 people glow up. That's for sure a goal.
Okay. And what about a long-term goal for yourself?
I want to be able to talk my shit, and I want to be able to walk my shit. You know what I mean? Like, I talk a lot and I post a lot of like motivation on social media, but I think eventually the biggest goal is to be motivation. You know what I mean? To like be able to click on my page and be like, if this motherfucker did it, like, why can't I do it? You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
Why can't I do it? I think that's for sure one of the biggest, like, and it sounds kind of rough, but it's true. Like, I'm not better than anybody. I bleed just like the next man. You know what I mean? I'm just a cat who thinks he can, and that like long-term goal, I just want to be a motherfucker who did.
Yeah.
Like, period. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's actually really good. I like that response. And okay, one more question. What would you like to be remembered for? Last question. Make it count.
Going hard. I just want to go hard. I just want to be, like, I want my brothers and my sisters to look at me like, yo, like, he was really the example. He set the tone. You know what I mean? He really, like, led us.
You're the oldest, right?
I'm the second oldest. I'm the oldest son. Yeah, oldest son, second oldest. I have an older sister. I have a younger sister. I have 3 younger brothers. Okay. So I have, like, that just alone is, like, motivation enough. I look at them and I'm like, I can't give up for you guys. You know what I mean?
Keep going,
I have to keep going, yeah. So that's for sure. Just remember for making them proud.
Yeah.
If I can make them proud, life is good.
Life
you feel
is
me?
good. I
like
like
genuinely
that.
make them proud.
So family's big for you.
For sure. Even though I don't see them a lot, like I think I have something to prove with my family. You know what I mean? Like I'm working a lot right now. They think I don't have like time for them, but it's like this is part of the process with the come up. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to make sacrifices. You're gonna have to work long hours. You're gonna have to be up before they're up, and come home when they're asleep. Like it's gonna happen, and I think that's something that right now it's like I'm a dick for it, and like why is he not with us? Why is he doing this? Like I have. For sure, like I know some of my family members look at me like, dude, this dude's been like too overcommitted, and like
that's they don't see the vision that you have. Like you have such a bigger vision other than like they just think it's just training, that's it. But you're trying to make like a brand and like you know what I mean, like establish like who you are in the fitness. Yeah,
for sure. And I think that's the biggest thing, like being able to come back and show my family like, yo, all that hard work, all those long nights, like early mornings, work for you guys, like for real. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah, that's my ultimate goal for sure. Wow. Is it over? Can I go? No.
He's so bad. Okay, so I want to say thank you for sure. Thank you again, actually, for coming out and actually trusting in me and coming in and actually recording, sitting down finally with each other. I hope that the next video we post within like a year out and kind of see the progress from his training and hopefully from my YouTube.
Not hopefully, speak that shit into existence.
It's gonna be
like
sick.
Her podcast is gonna pop. She's gonna interview a bunch of dope individuals. So
I'm excited for that. Like I'm super excited for that. I can't wait for him to grow in his fitness and me to grow with my YouTube and my podcast in general. But I hope that you guys like, comment, and subscribe to Convos with Alina, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, for real. Like if you really fuck like with us, like if you really fuck with me, like you say you fuck with me, like this shit. Subscribe to her page and support it, because at the end of the day, like you support your friends. You feel me? Like that's the weirdest shit I've ever like.
It's how do you
say that that's your homie and then like not
you don't even support. That's the word. But they'll go do something else for someone.
Oh, and then like in 5 years or 10 years, they're gonna swear like they know you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when I'm gonna be like.
And that's when I'm gonna remember.
I'm gonna remember that shit, and I'm not gonna even.
You ain't getting like no, and it's like it's for real like. I've seen so many like homies that are like, dude, congrats. And I mean, not to throw shade, you know what I mean? But it's like when there comes times where I'm like, yo, there's strangers that I barely met yesterday that are fucking with me, that are supporting me, that 100%. Are not asking any questions. They're just like, I fuck with you and I'm gonna support you. And I'm like, where's my day ones at? You know what I mean? And like I said, it's no shade to my day ones. Like I know everyone's busy, but it comes to show how life is, you feel me?
Yeah.
And it's a lesson.
And don't forget to come to his boot camps every Saturday, 9 a.m., 6 p.m. He might be doing some Sundays, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to be coming every Saturday and Sunday. So
come check out my boot camps if you're in Santa Clarita. You know what I mean? Or
check out his page. What's your page? What's your Instagram?
PRFA Fit. PRFA period fit. Yeah. Joe, we didn't even talk about what like PRFA means.
Wait.
Well, next episode.
All right, next episode, stay tuned.